This is serious. If you want to bring in more cash and clients, this must be your main area of focus. Not I need to go viral, not I need to write more emails, not I need to do ads, not I just need to quit because nothing is working. If you're getting a bunch of no's and excuses from people, instead of them being excited to buy, excited to work with you, excited to hand over their credit card because they know they need to have this thing and learn this thing and try this thing with you, one of three things is happening in their mind. One, they don't believe in your product, service, or offer, and they don't believe that it's going to get them closer to their specific desired result. Two, they don't believe in themselves and are stuck in a self-defeating resistance pattern without realizing it. And three, they don't 100% believe in you. Now, this doesn't mean you're bad, incapable, or unqualified. The problem isn't you. It's that you haven't clearly conveyed in your messaging, your offer, your content, or your conversations a level of conviction that you are the expert, the creator, the coach, the service provider that they need right now. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow in your business, in your bank account, in your mindset, in so many areas of your life. This blew my mind. 2.8 thousand of you signed up to take my once a year big live training series, 3 Days to Make Bank Online. And I was fascinated and I had to share it with you. What resistances came up for people? Because we did a really cool exercise on it. Because on day 3, I was teaching how to handle it when you're getting a lot of excuses from people. I can't afford it. I have to talk to my husband. Now isn't the time. And obviously that's part of the topic of today's episode. And I wanted everyone in day 3 to really reflect and take a note of what are their own resistances. Because 3 Days to Make Bank is my big, exciting launch leader into my signature program, Selling with Soul, which is only available for enrollment once a year. And this is my 5-week live group coaching program where you learn how to share and showcase your offers to make them irresistible to your ideal clients, have fun doing it without burning out, so that around the clock, you have people booking appointments with you, sending DMs coming to you, interested in working with you, hiring you to do various things, buying your stuff through your content overnight so that you're not constantly having to feel like you're chasing and talking about it and getting annoying to all of your people. And I said, okay, let's use this as an example. What are your resistances to even signing up with Selling with Soul? You're already here with me and you're on day 3. You've done the homework. You're loving it. I mean, you guys, this was popping. I'm talking thousands of comments, people doing their homework, people helping each other is amazing. So you know this is working. You're already getting results in doing what I'm teaching you for free. I mean, there's people who made $6,000 just from what I taught in day 2 on creating profitable content, right? So it's not a doubt that it doesn't work. I know my stuff. I've got the receipts. I've got the proof. I've got the cash in the bank. I've got the thousands of testimonials, blah, blah, blah. So then what is your resistance to signing up? Because I took the money part away. I've made a payment plan where you can get in for as little as $297 a month into my program. So don't tell me you can't find that to invest in your business on something that's going to get you the ROI, because I'm teaching you how to get the money into your business. So what is it then? Because that doesn't make sense. And so I wanted them to do that exercise of looking at their own resistances, because whatever you're resisting, your ideal client is doing the same with your stuff, with your products, with your events, with your services, with your programs, with your courses, with your thing. And I don't care if you're a physician and then your ideal client's a patient. I don't care if you're an artist and your ideal client is someone who is incredibly influent and has a passion for the arts. I don't care if you're a permanent makeup artist and your ideal client lives in middle America and she's a haggard mom and wants to look fly and fresh again. It doesn't matter, because some of you are going, but my ideal client isn't exactly me. Yes, she is. And yes, he is. And yes, they are, on a deep emotional basis and on an emotional pull, because like attracts like. And when we go deep, we get deep cash. But when you just stay on the surface, which is what literally 99% of people do, you get surface level cash, surface level results, and that's frustrating, and that gets old. And after a certain amount of time, you're going to quit when you keep hearing enough excuses or no's, and you're trying all the things and nothing is working, and you feel like you're doing more and more and more, and then you're watching all of these other people and they're buying from them, and it's like, what the hell is going on? I know I've got it. And I know I have a good heart and I don't understand what's going on. Then your brain starts making up stories that you have to be more of this. I should be younger. I'm not as pretty. I'm not as confident. I'm not as well spoken. I don't have as many testimonials. Maybe the market is too saturated now and so many people are doing it. And in my area, there's a million other people doing it. So now that's the reason. And now all these resistances come up to the point where you bring your energy level and your mental bandwidth so far down that of course you're procrastinating, of course you're avoiding, of course you're not really going all in and doing the things. So let me give you a couple of examples of what people said so that this helps you, so you can work through this, so you can get ahead of it. Because when we're on the offense of our ideal clients, lies they're telling themselves, their resistances into hiring you, working with you, buying the thing, now you don't come across as like pushy, sleazy, manipulative, and annoying, because you're not on the defense. Being on the defense is never a good position. You come across even energetically defensive. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is make sure we're positioning you, your offers, your brand, your business, whatever. This works for any kind of business, okay? I have 2 companies. My first business I've had for over 15 years. It's an 8-figure business, and that focuses in doing digital marketing, sales, and branding for medical and wellness-based companies. So I've had that whole time worked multi-billion-dollar clients, Procter & Gamble, Kraft Foods, huge hospital networks, and ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and the business coaching brand that focuses on the small business owner, right? A restaurant, a realtor, an accountant, coaches, healers, makeup artists, people who have Etsy stores, product-based businesses, that kind of a thing. Because I wanted to take all of that intel I have of working with multi-billion-dollar brands of the best, and then teach them to small business owners, you, including even like affiliate network marketers, bloggers, you name it, so that you can apply those, which no one really has access to this kind of information. Very few people. And you can apply it and you can see what happens and blow up your business and your bank account and have life-changing cash much easier, and just keep it really simple and straightforward. So some of the stuff people were saying, and I just want, and you go, oh, okay, yeah, that's one of mine. I'm just trying to prompt your brain here. So one of the things is, well, I've done other stuff before, Tiff, I just did a program last year, or I hired even a private coach, business coach last year, and I didn't really get great results, or I'm even still paying it off. So I can't possibly like do another thing because either I didn't complete the first thing or it didn't really work for me. So then now I'm afraid if I do this, even though I trust you and I believe you, and I'm really having such great results even here on our free 3 days together, but like, I don't want to be irresponsible. I don't want to now like go into quote unquote more debt. That was one of the big ones. And I went, okay. And I said, I hear you. I've been there. It's called being an entrepreneur and a business owner. I've invested in hiring people, whether it's a VA or an employee. I've invested in, when I was very open inside 3 days to make bank last year, I invested probably like $40,000 in an ad company and in doing ads. And it was a nightmare. And like me and like a couple of people on my team even have like PTSD from it. It was so stressful. It was terrible. And I could say, okay, I'm not going to do any ads this year. In fact, I'm not doing ads again. That didn't work. And that was crap. And that was so stressful. And what a waste. And that's money I can never get back, and time I can't get back, and money I can't get back. And I don't want to like go down that path again. And what if it's the same thing again? Sure. You would have heard me venting and going off and saying crazy stuff like that, because that's normal. We're emotional. We're frustrated. We get mad at ourselves. We get mad at the people we hire. But this is part of business. Or who loses twice? We lose twice by not then continuing to lean in and invest and learn. So I just decided this is what I'm going to look out for this time. And I'm now only available for someone who does it this way. And I'm going to state my needs very clearly in the beginning to see if this is a good match, blah, blah, blah. But if I continue to not take risk now because the risks I've made before didn't pay off or even burned me or cost me somehow, then you lose twice. You're actually totally screwing yourself. I mean, you lose sometimes by taking risks, but you always lose and are guaranteed to lose if you continue to hold back. That's like when people go through a breakup or a divorce. It's like, I'm never getting married again. I don't ever want to date again. Yes, of course you vent and say that because we're hurt, we're exhausted and frustrated. And there's some people who, do choose never to do that again. But at what cost? Now you don't have the love, the companionship, the passion, the support. You have the loneliness. You have an emptiness in your life. So what's that cost by not doing it? This is the cost of doing business. Not everything that you invest in, not everything you try, not everyone you hire is going to end up being a great fit. And that doesn't mean it's always the other person's fault or the other program or course's fault. It could have been the season that you're in. It could be you fell for some fantasy marketing and you have to own your side of it. It could just be that there's scams out there, right? And we all fall for them sometimes. It could just be that. And then you've got to move on. So what other resistances do you have to buying? Is it like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to complete this was another one. Like, I don't know if I'm going to actually complete it because I've bought other things before and I've only gone halfway and I tend to not complete things and I have ADHD and shiny object syndrome. And my response to that is, that's a choice. You can choose to complete it or you can choose not to. But just because you didn't complete something in the past, just because you didn't follow through in the past doesn't mean that has to be the case for now, forever, in time. You have a choice to make. You can do it differently now. And maybe that thing you signed up for and did wasn't structured by someone who is an expert in coaching people who are multi-passionate, who do get easily distracted, who need things to be very clear and straightforward and even like short because your attention bandwidth is limited and you're already feeling tired and overworked. That's why Selling with Soul is 5 weeks. I've cut out all the fluff and you get literally everything that I know for sure works and I've removed stuff that doesn't work. There's nothing in there just to like stuff a program to make it look like it's more robust. That's the opposite of what I teach. We're all about results. You guys don't need more information. Your ego might tell you that to trick you from getting into action, but what you need is implementation and support and accountability to do the damn thing. Period. End of story. This is the absolute last day to get in for the pre-launch pricing for Selling with Soul. You get $1,000 off. This is it. ProjectMeWithTiffany.com/selling with soul. The link is also in the show notes, or just go to ProjectMeWithTiffany.com/selling with soul. This is the program that will show you and teach you exactly, including my proven sales scripts that I've massaged over 15 years. And this isn't like a telemarketing script. These are heart-based, genuine questions and an outline to ask people that will, without a doubt, sell through high-ticket offers or get you ideal clients who are always like booking with you regularly every month. You have all of these in here. That alone is worth the cost of the program. So go to the page, get the details, see what all the people are saying who have incredible results. This is a combination where you do simply 2 modules a week on your own and then there's some workbooks, and these aren't like 5-hour modules because they don't fucking need to be. We don't have time for that shit. The goal here is priority 1, when you have a business, I don't care if you've been in it 10 years, 5 years, you've not even started yet. The goal is to get fresh cash flowing in your business. If you don't have fresh cash flowing in your business consistently, you do not have a business. You have a jobby, a time and energy sucking hobby, and you will eventually quit because that gets really old. We need fresh cash coming in so you can reinvest that cash back into the business and keep putting fuel on the fire, as long as you're doing that strategically and you're not just like randomly throwing money out there. So we have incredible payment plans. Obviously, there's amazing pay in full bonuses as well. I mean, Julie said, I went from making $0 in 2018 to over $1 million in 2021 working with Tiffany. Kushbu says, this has been hands down the best decision I've made for my business to be coached by Tiffany. So if people are telling you they can't afford it or don't have the time, they're going, oh, I need to make more money in my business, or I need to bring in more money or get a bonus before I work with you. If you're posting all the time and putting all this stuff out there and creating content and you're getting 0 response and people buying for you, if you have anxiety on getting on even calls, discovery calls, whatever you call them, because you don't know what to say and you don't want to come across manipulative and you feel awkward saying your prices and you don't even know what to price your stuff and you're not even 100% confident of like what you're offering or how to package it, and it makes you feel all sorts of things. You were led here for a reason. This is the program that you've been asking for. But then your brain gets into resistance and it's like, this is it. This is only offered right now. I don't offer it again until 2024. So do you want to get the money coming in before summer and then have lifetime access to this program to be able to keep using it and refining it and bringing in more and more and more money, or not? But notice what's coming up for you even listening to this. Another program. I don't know. I really love working with, I really love Tiff. I did this other thing, or God, I'm like afraid to spend money right now. I need to keep that money. What is coming up for you in your brain? We're doing this as an example. Whatever's coming up for you, I want you to write it down, put it in your phone. Your ideal clients are having a version of that same thought verbatim about your offers. Whether you sell baby clothes, whether you sell eyelash extensions, it doesn't matter. They're having this same thought because sales are emotional. They're having the same emotional resistances in their response. So they're either not believing that your product, service, or offer is going to get them closer to their specific desired result. Like, is this going to work? I'm not 100% sure if it's not going to work. If they're not sure if it's going to work, it's either you've not explained it very clear enough and the language you're using isn't catching, which is why that's a very clear module in live training week in Selling with Soul. Because if you're not crystal clear and they're not clear, now you energetically don't have that conviction and knowing, and you don't even come across that way, and therefore you're going to repel people. The second thing, they don't believe in themselves and are stuck in self-defeating resistance, and they're in this pattern without realizing it. That's the exercise we just did. That one is huge. So if you don't start speaking to their resistances, if you don't start identifying them and talking through them, I don't mean convincing. I'm not trying to convince you to be in Selling with Soul. I don't need to convince you to do that. My job is to say, listen, if this is where you're at and this is what's going on in your brain and these are the core desired results that you're wanting, like you really want to have life-changing cash. You really want to have those options. You want to be able to do it in a way where you're not like working and grinding away 60 hours a week in order to get it. And you want to create a different life and a legacy for yourself. And you want to be able to have fun doing it. If you want what you say you want, this is it. But if you find yourself resisting it, you've got to ask yourself why. Maybe you don't want it that badly. Why is it not a priority right now? And your brain is wild, baffling, manipulative, and cunning. You're gaslighting yourself. Oh, well, I've not felt that great lately. There's a lot of stuff going on with my kids. I'm going through a divorce. I need to quit my job first. That's all resistance. If you really want what you say you want, why would you be in excuses and not actions if you really want it? Because excuses aren't going to get you there. All this stuff is just nonsense. I can come up with all these reasons about my book, right? I'm not as clear as I need to be right now. I need to have more mental space. I need to go and live in Bali for a month to write it. I'm telling you all the craziness in my brain. I can't really start on it until I hire an editor. Maybe now's not the time. I could do this and this first. Do I really want to focus my energy on this? Oh, I'm thinking of moving. I need to get through the move first. It's all shit. It's all resistance. And you can stay in that. That's a choice. You can stay in that. But what is it costing you to stay in the resistance versus getting in the action? And only 10% of you, by the way, and that's a proven fact studied by many universities, are gonna actually take the action and work through that resistance. 90% of you will stay in the resistance and be unhappy, be coveting what other people have, yet not taking the action to get there, feeling more and more drained by your life, discouraged by your life, depressed by your life, anxious by your life, but staying in this spot. The biggest risk is not taking one at all. And so what that you've taken risks before? And maybe some have paid off, some haven't. That's called the game of life. That's called what happens with love, that happens in friendships, that happens in business, that happens in money, that happens if you're an employee. That even happens with your health. Like you try a workout, you try supplements, you try some kind of diet program or whatever. Like some shit works, some shit doesn't. But by not doing anything and by not taking a risk, you're guaranteed to lose. So you have to speak to that. That third thing is they don't 100% believe in you. Now, this brings up a lot of stuff because what happens with when business owners get a bunch of no's or no interest at all, and it's happened to me, and anyone who says it's not happened to them, they're a scam, and don't listen, lean in, or buy from them, okay? It's happened to everybody. I don't care who you are. Kim K has had it happen. So when you get no interest at all or no's, you take it personally and then go into a scarcity spin cycle. And after coaching well over 150,000 people worldwide, I see it over and over again. Hear me on this. It isn't personal. It isn't about you as a human. You are the face of your brand. You are the CEO. You are the creator or curator of your offers, your products. So it feels personal as fuck when no one is buying or doesn't seem excited to work with you, isn't even leaning in and absorbing your free content. And then they go and hire someone else or like someone else's stuff or buy someone else's thing. Quite frankly, it sucks. And I've been there. And this is why I'm best qualified to coach you through it. It's not about that. It's that it has not connected. You have not strategically been taught, and maybe you've not taken the action to learn. Maybe you didn't know this was a major hole in your business. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing of this or hearing of it from someone who you feel safe with and whose coaching style resonates. So great. Now is the time. Now it's here for you. The great thing is you've identified the problem. We see what the holes are. And the great news is all we have to do is fill them. But I can't make you do that. You have to take action. You have to say, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to be one of the 10%. I'm going to sign up for Selling with Soul. I'm going to take that risk. And it's a calculated risk. It's a business investment in myself, in who I'm helping, in the lifestyle that I want. I'm going to go and lean into that. Tiffany's made it easy, pay in full, and you can get in for as little as $297 a month. This is the absolute last day of pre-launch pricing. So that's $1,000 off. I do not offer this program again until 2024. So you'd have to wait an entire year. Imagine an entire year of wasted revenue, growth, insanity, clients that you could have helped, people that you could have served. Look at how fast time goes. I mean, it's already spring. What do you want your summer to look like? Wouldn't you want to book a 5-star luxury trip for yourself, a girlfriend trip with your partner, with your family in August, and be able to like easily do that and know like you're paying it in full? You want to go to Italy. Maybe you want to go to the Caribbean. Maybe you want to rent for a month a really cool lake house in the mountains and go water skiing every day. You get to set yourself up to do that. You could have all your debt paid off like my client Sally. She paid all of her debt off from other business investments that she's made, things that didn't work. She had some leftover student loan debt. And she paid all of that off in 3 months with working with me without like eating top ramen every night, because she had fresh cash coming into her business and prioritized it and knew what to focus on now and knew what not to. And knew there were holes in her business, wasn't sure what they are. They got identified and we could fill them. It really gets to be that simple. The part that's not simple is the scary part, the resistance of taking that risk. And it's not my job to convince you, and it's not your job to convince your people. It's my job to share what I have to offer, to let you know who this is good for, who it isn't. Make it very clear about the extra features I've given. I mean, you get this for life. This is lifetime access to this program. And share it with excitement and conviction and fun. We get to have fun. In fact, you have to. The more fun we have, the more money we make. And this is not more work. My programs are not more work. In fact, I have you doing less. There's not one person that could say they've worked with me where I've made them do more. It's that I have you do less. Because you're energetically bleeding and draining yourself because you're throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. And there's nothing more frustrating and exhausting than that. And we stop doing the stuff and focusing our time, effort, and energy on stuff that doesn't work. And then when you laser focus in on the stuff that are income generating activities and you know how to do them and get better and better at it and refine it, there's no way your cash flow doesn't start growing and growing and growing. It's just how that is. But if you are in that position of, oh my God, no one's buying, I've got to do this, I don't know, your ideal client is in that anxious resistance energy too. That's why whenever I invest in a mastermind or hiring another coach or even a personal trainer or going to an event, like I just signed up, I bought a $4,000. I paid in full. I love paying in full because it feels really good and exciting to me to be able to do that. And energy and money are so intertwined. And I just bought a great retreat that I'm going to be going to in Tulum. What happens when we invest in ourselves and we take that action and we're one of the 10%? I attract then action takers because I'm not in resistance. That doesn't mean I just go and buy everything I see. I'm still discerning, but things that I lean into, things that feel good to me, things I know that are only there for my greater good. Here, take my credit card. Here, that resistance is removed, and then I attract people who then don't have that high level of resistance. I attract those ideal clients that are excited. Where the question should be, where can I invest my money next? What can I buy? Who can I hire? What can I attend? What can I absorb? What can I listen to? What can I read that is going to continue growing me? Because I deserve the best and I get it, and I take actions that are aligned with my core desires, and I'm excited to do so. I'm humbled and honored to do so, even if it makes me uncomfortable financially. That's what we want you to attract for your business, and they're all out there. The market is never too saturated for someone who knows how to position themselves, package their offers, who's heart-based and genuine, and really wants to have the best and do the best for their people. Go check out the page, projectmewithtiffany.com/selling with soul. Not offered again until next year. This is your last chance. Go look. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.